So now that we know where PLA comes from, how the PLA filament material is made, and some of the benefits to its bio-friendly composition, let's take a look at some other market use cases that are already out or may be coming to use soon. So we already know that there's many use cases for 3D printing, but here we've got an example of some 3D printed customizable glasses. Now, with these glasses, you could actually have prescription lenses made and inserted into them. What's nice about this is that in maybe other countries where you can't get readily made injection molded glasses, you could 3D print custom to the size of your head and then get the lenses made and put them inside. Another awesome application for 3D printing and PLA and other materials like TPU is footwear. So with scanning your feet using special scanners, you can actually get a map of your footbed, which can then be created into an STL file and printed in a material like TPU. But today we're talking about PLA. So let's take a look at an example of a shoe that uses both TPU and PLA. This lattice work structure is actually printed using a TPU type of material, but the cloth on the outside of this shoe here is actually PLA. So PLA can be strung out into fibers, dyed and then knitted together. So it's really cool that you can have a shoe that uses a couple of different materials that we use traditionally in 3D printing, but here it is all together. Likewise, in footwear, there's also the opportunity to print custom insoles. Now again, these aren't PLA, these are TPU based, but when you have a flexible material like TPU, you can also print something like this shoe. Very cool. So in conjunction with using these awesome materials, there's other awesome technologies such as 3D scanning that can be really beneficial. So in this case, we're 3D scanning her body and we will get a bunch of measurements afterwards. Now those measurements can be used to create things like custom pillows. It'll also do scanning to tell you a little bit about your body metrics, maybe your body fat or how you slouch or how your feet look. So this is really cool technology and you can get a full report after you've done the scan. Another interesting medical use for PLA is cosmetic enhancement. Just like people will get Botox injected, this PLA can also be injected into you and it will break down over time. So there are some really cool other medical use cases here. And we've got two examples I want to show you. This small vial right here contains some PLA thread, which can act as sutures internally once you're sewed up. The nice thing about this is that it will actually biodegrade over time once you've healed. Another cool use case for medical are these clips, which could be used during surgery to stop blood from flowing in an artery, maybe clip and pinch it closed. Did you know that clothing can also be made out of PLA? Well, in this case, a combination of PLA and another material like viscose or rayon. The benefit being that over time, if this does go to a landfill, it will break down much faster than a 100% nylon material fabric. And I have to say, it's soft and feels like it would be pretty comfortable. This large colorful blanket here has been made out of PLA, well, partially, and some other materials. And then these pillows back here also have PLA fibers as their stuffing. And I have to say, they're firm but comfortable. Here's some more examples of some clothes made using PLA and other materials. For instance, these pants are made out of 63% PLA and 37% cotton. Using this version of PLA, which is non-woven fabric, you can create things such as these masks, diapers, and other wiping products. Here we have some PLA cups. These are 100% PLA, and the nice thing about these, unlike your red Solo cup, once these go into the ground, they will break down over time much quicker than other plastics would take to break down. So if you're as much a fan of KFC as I am, you might be interested to know that KFC in China is actually using disposable cups that are lined with PLA. They used to use PE or PP, polypropylene, but now they are completely biodegradable using PLA as a lining inside. Now that we've taken a look at all these alternative use cases for the wonder material that is PLA, let's take a trip back to the Maker Lab at Microcenter and wrap this up.
All right, from the fields of Nebraska all the way to the factories of Wuhan and back again here to Central Ohio. We had a great time learning about filament, specifically learning about polylactic acid or PLA. If you want to learn more information, make sure to follow us here on our Microcenter YouTube channel, and make sure to get down to your local Microcenter store to check out the filament aisle and all of our 3D printers and 3D printer parts and accessories. All right, and if you don't have a Microcenter near you, make sure to leave a comment down below with the hashtag #IWantAMicroCenter near me. And we'll see you next time in the Maker Lab at Microcenter.